speaker. And as a published author, I get more talks because of it. I get people to, it just makes the rest of my business easier. And then I've actually changed my business and changed as I was writing the book, I was actually writing my own story and changing my story. So as I was writing the reinvention mindset, I was reinventing my own business and my own life. So it's still a book. Some days I'm like, I have to go back and read that chapter. I had some good stuff in there. So it's still my tool for reinventing my life as well. I guess what I wish I would have known was when I got started or in writing the book was to just go ahead and finish the book, not to worry about how it went there, but to write an entire book and then go back and fix it as opposed to worrying about every chapter being perfect. Because throughout the procedure, you end up changing so much of it anyway. Write the book first. Don't try to make everything perfect because you're gonna change, things are gonna happen. And once you have a book, it's a lot easier to edit it than it is to get stuck and try to make every chapter perfect. That's something I definitely wish I would have known up front. And I learned it quickly enough, but knowing that, just having that mindset to start would have had me thinking of a whole book instead of thinking of each little piece. When inspiration hits you, right. So if you're walking the dog and a thought comes to you, you record it on your phone, or if wherever you are, write stuff, even if it's not part of the book and you don't know where it's going to go. But if you have some great idea, get it on paper, get it written down. Because it may be the story you put in that's like the best story in the whole book. So that's one thing. For me, I figured out when my energy was highest, and I'm a morning person. So my book, I would get up and like plan to write a chapter every Saturday morning, every Sunday morning before the rest of the house woke up. And most of the time that worked. But what I found was if I'm really in flow, to keep going. So some days I wrote 4 chapters because it was just coming to me, whereas other days I sat there for 15 minutes and was blank. And give yourself grace. You have a writing schedule, but it's not always going to work to get your writing there. And like I said, capture all your thoughts. If you don't use them for this book, you might use them for the next book. The developmental editing part is it's very friendly camaraderie. The revisions was much more structured and much more, and I don't want to say critical, but it's just, they weren't critical, but it was really much more not about the concepts or about the ideas or about the stories. It was about the words or the sentence structuring. It was very much more structured. It wasn't as enjoyable a process as working with the DEs. Yet it wasn't terrible. It had to be done. But when you work, what was nice is if after going through the revision editor, the structural editor and the revision editor, when you got to like copyright and proofreading, that part was really easy because most of it was done. So I've read so many people who wrote books that didn't go through all those different editors, and I read them and they just seem lower quality. They have all these typos. The writing is not good. So the outcome from doing all that is definitely worth it because our books all are, I think I bought most of my cohort's books and they're all high quality, really professionally looking, well written. It's a confidence boost too. So you can talk about yourself differently because you see yourself differently. And it also has helped credibility. It's easier to get speaking gigs if you're a published author. It's easier to get people to take you seriously if you're an author. The book has helped me grow my business. I think the book helped me get my TEDx talk and things like that. So I wrote the book basically from me. I got fired from a job. I had been an engineer for 30 years. I got fired in a horrible fashion and I didn't know what I was going to do. And I said, I always wanted to write a book and I never had time. And if I have time, I'll write a book. That really was my thought process. And my book really ended up being me coaching myself through this journey to start this new business. So I still go back to it and I'm like, oh, I need chapter 6. And I read it again. For me, it's something that I go back. But what's interesting is I became a life and a mindset coach and I took these certifications in these different modalities. And I would say 80% of what I learned was in my book. If you could write a book, you can pretty much do anything.